Hello students, once again I welcome you all in my new video for class 8th and this is the third video from the chapter Metals and Non-Metals. In my previous video we have completed the properties of metals and in which we have discussed about the chemical nature, means how the metals are going to react with the other substances in their surrounding. And we have seen that metals are going to form metal oxides when they are going to react with oxygen, and with the reaction of water metals are going to produce hydroxide, and with the acids metals are going to produce metallic salt, and they are going to release hydrogen gas. So today in this video we will discuss about the properties of another group of elements that are known as non-metals. So we will see what are their characteristic features on which we have placed them in another group apart from the metals. So let's start today's discussion, and we will start from the first physical property, that is known as physical state. And by physical property you know what are their external features by which we can distinguish them from metals. So as we have seen that metals are, almost all of the metals are solid at room temperature apart from the mercury. But here when we are talking about the non-metals, you can see here clearly that non-metals are present in solid, liquid and gaseous, all three states of matter, where in solid you can see carbon, phosphorus, sulfur and iodine are the non-metals which are present in the solid state at room temperature, and only bromine is a non-metal which is present in liquid state. So the exceptions and the distinguished features are very often asked in the questions, that which non-metal is present at liquid state at room temperature. So you know bromine is the non-metal which is in liquid state at room temperature. In gaseous, you know these are the gases, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, which are the gases that is present in our atmosphere, and also all noble gases. Actually noble gases are the gaseous form of some elements which are not going to react with other substances in their surrounding, and that's why they are known as noble gas. Perhaps you have heard the names like helium, neon or krypton or xenon. So these are the noble gases which are not going to react with other substances in their surrounding. So all are the examples of non-metals. The next property of non-metal is the appearance. As you have seen there in the category of metals, that all the metals possess their metallic luster, but here non-metals are not shiny in appearance, they are dull. And here again exceptions are here, like graphite. Graphite is a allotrope of carbon that is used in your pencil leads which you use to write something. So graphite, diamond and iodine that is used in our common salt also, these are the non-metals which are shiny in appearance. So apart from these three, the other non-metals which are nearly about 17 or 18, they all are dull and they do not possess any kind of shine in them. Next feature is what? Malleability and ductility. As you have seen there in the form of metals, that metals are malleable and ductile, but here you can see the non-metals are brittle. They are not having the metallic bond, and so if we are going to hammer them, they are going to break down easily. So they cannot be converted into thin sheets, or they cannot be made into thin wires from them. So non-metals are brittle, and they are usually bad conductors. As you have seen in the metals that they all are good conductors of heat and electricity, but all the non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity, means they are insulators of heat and electricity. But again here is an exception of graphite. It is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Next property of the non-metal is what? Density. Since these non-metals are very soft and they are not tightly packed like metals, so they are having low density, and that's why they are very soft and brittle. They can be easily broken down. But again here is an exception that you have seen, diamond. It is the hardest natural substance known till now on Earth's surface. So all the non-metals are what? Very low, having very low density, and they all are soft except diamond. So the next feature, physical feature of the non-metal is melting and their boiling point. Since they are having low density, so they all are having low melting and boiling point. So at low temperature they are going to boil, and they also easily melt down from solid state to liquid state. But here again the exception is what? Graphite. Its melting and boiling point is high, as you have seen in case of metals that they possess high melting and boiling point. So next property is what? Sonority. You are aware about the sonorous property of metals, that all the metals produce ringing sound whenever they are going to struck hardly. But here in case of non-metals, all the non-metals are non-sonorous, means they are not going to produce any ringing sound, and that's why these are not used in bells that we use in our daily life, different purposes. So the last one is what? Tensile strength. All the metals were very high tensile strength, but these non-metals are having very low tensile strength, and that's why they can be broken easily. But again, you know, diamond, which is the hardest substance, so its tensile strength is very high, and this is why, because their density, the compact of molecular arrangement, its molecular arrangement is very compact, and this is the reason its tensile strength is high. So when we are going to compare amongst the metals and non-metals, we will see that metals are solids, while non-metals are solid, liquid and gaseous state. And in both of these exceptions are there, that mercury is what? Metal, but it is present in liquid state, and only one non-metal, that is bromine, is present in the liquid form. In case of appearance, you know, metals are what? Having their luster, having their metallic sign, but non-metals are dull. Brittleness means malleability or ductility. All the metals are very malleable and ductile quality, but non-metals are non-malleable and non-ductile. All the metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are what? Bad conductors of heat and electricity. When we are discussing about density property of metals and non-metals, all the metals possess very high density apart from sodium and potassium. But you know, when we compare about the non-metals possess very low density, and that's why they are soft and they are brittle. Then melting and boiling point, since the metals are very dense in their structure, so their melting and boiling point is very high. But in case of non-metals, the melting and boiling point is very low apart from the non-metal graphite. Then sonorous property, all the metals are sonorous, but when we consider about the non-metals, they are non-sonorous. And finally, metals have very high tensile strength, and that's why they are used in making buildings or bridge purpose. But non-metals are having very low tensile strength, and that's why they are not used for any such type of purpose. So that was all for today, and we will meet in the next video, in which we will see what are the chemical properties of non-metals. So till then, we are going to meet in the next video. Take care of yourself and be safe.